Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on why Septic Touch is a bad perk in Dead by Daylight. Septic Touch afflicts any survivors in your terror radius engaging in a healing action with the blindness and exhausted status effects. These effects linger for up to 10 seconds after the healing action stops by any means. The main draw of this perk is that it has a fairly high threshold for activation for relatively middling effects. There are two primary conditions in order to activate: that survivors are healing, and that they are within your terror radius. This alone is a flawed start, as survivors typically try to remain far away from the killer when they heal each other. Additionally, this weakens the perk on certain killers with smaller terror radii or built-in undetected, like the Dredge himself. Moreover, there are two other issues that make this perk weak. Notably, the status effect only applies to the survivor performing the healing action, not both survivors, meaning that you're only getting about half the value you'd expect for a perk like this. Secondly, the status effects that the perk inflict are relatively weak and don't linger for a very long time to be impactful. Under normal circumstances, a survivor will suffer from these status effects for less than 30 seconds, more than half of which will be occupied by the healing action, wherein the status effects won't affect them in a practical sense. If you're stationary while healing, you're probably not going to be that bothered by your life being on cooldown or that you can't see your teammates with Bond. Even if you interrupt the heal, both statuses dissipate quickly enough that a good survivor probably won't be too impeded. But even with that in mind, you're more likely going to go for the injured healee who isn't afflicted with the status effects from the perk. I think Septic Touch could be improved dramatically by a combination of easing activation requirements and boosting the overall impact, but I still think it would be a boring perk. Instead, I'm going to propose a complete rework. Septic Touch is now an obsession-based perk. Injuring the obsession with your basic attack now inflicts a status that lingers for 60 seconds. If another survivor attempts to heal the obsession while suffering from this status, Septic Touch triggers its main effects. The healer screams, revealing their location, and the obsession is instantly healed, akin to a use of For the People. Both survivors, however, suffer from significant drawbacks. The obsession suffers from exhausted and blindness for up to 30 seconds, while the survivor who attempted to heal them suffers from broken and blindness for up to 30 seconds as well. This rework creates new means for killers to sow chaos among survivors. It forces the obsession to remain injured for extended periods of time, and penalizes survivors for attempting to intervene. Additionally, this creates what I'd consider a more fitting theme, wherein a particular survivor becomes infected and any interaction with said survivor leads to a toxic outcome. Thanks for watching, leave a like, and put your thoughts in the comments below.